Good evening. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's see who gets on today to visit with me, Beverlee Morales, with Stampin' All Day with Bev. How are you? How is your 2026 going? It's a new year and we have a lot to look forward to. I hope everyone is well. I know there is a nasty flu going around here in my town anyway. A lot of my friends and acquaintances around the area have it. So if you're not feeling well, I hope you're better soon. And if you're staying healthy and not got the bug yet, good job. Keep it up and keep trying to stay well. Okay, we've about 3 minutes to 7. So I'm going to just tell you what's been going on here. Of course, we all know we've had Christmas and New Year's. It was fabulous here. I hope it was fabulous for you. I know that Christmas time can be quite sentimental. I miss my parents a lot during the Christmas holiday, even more than normal. Hi, Maria. And some of you have lost family members as well. So that can be hard, but then we have our children and our husbands maybe and the rest of our family that we just cherish, and we learn to cherish because you never know what's coming around the corner. But I hope everyone has a blessed 2026. We had company, as you know, for a week in November for Thanksgiving. Then we had a little bit of a break, getting ready for Christmas. Hi, Brenda. Hi, Viola. And then we had Christmas Eve here, and then Christmas Day with Ken's parents, and then the following Saturday, Christmas with his siblings. So we've just been busy, busy, busy. And now my house is getting emptied. We are painting. That's why I didn't put up a lot of Christmas decorations this year, because tomorrow painters arrive and we are painting our whole house. Well, there's 3 bedrooms that are not getting painted because they've already been painted recently. And then the rest of the house is getting painted. So I have to empty my whole house of all the littles, you know what I mean? Stuff off the walls, that kind of thing. Even the kitchen, ladies. I'm not going to have a kitchen for 7 to 10 days. So it's quite disruptive, but the crew is amazing. They called Friday and they're all coming over tomorrow, and they're assuring me that we'll get through it and they're going to make life as easy on us as possible. And they're even going to help me with the things that I can't get down or can't empty on my own. They said, don't worry about it. We'll help you. And so they're just amazing. I keep looking at my watch because I don't want to go past 7. I want to get started right at 7. So that's exciting and disruptive all the same, but I can't wait till it's done. And anybody that lives close, when it's all done, you're more than welcome to come over and check it out. So I think it's 7 o'clock now, so we're going to get started. Hi, Jerry. Okay, so I'm using a new stamp set today. It is an online exclusive, and I will give you the item number in a little bit, but it's called Blessed Beginnings. And I purposely got that set when I saw it as a demonstrator. I could pre-order, and when I saw that on the pre-order, I wanted it because we all need to have blessings bestowed upon us. We all need to give blessings to others. We all need to pray for each other. I just love this stamp set. It's geared towards Easter. Hi, Linda. It's geared towards faith. It has a beautiful little church in the set and the dies. I fell in love with it, and I'm going to start out by making a simple card. For 2 reasons. One, I know a lot of people like simple. Hi, Charlotte. And with my crazy life right now with the turnover of my house and everything, I have to keep things as simple as possible to get through that. So let's get started, and I'm going to turn you down. And I'm going to see how good or bad I do. I'm out of practice. I've been on hiatus for what, 2 weeks? So if you could see my stamp room, you would just die. Like I said, half of my house is in here, and the rest of it's gonna come later, be put in here later. Okay, let me see if I can zoom just a little bit. Hey, Leticia. There we go. Hey, maybe it is going to be a good new year. That zoom was easy. And I'm going to take off my jacket. It's warmer in here than I thought it would be. Okay, so welcome to Stampin' All Day with Bev's Facebook Live every Sunday night at 7. You can shop with me. Here is my website, beverleestamps.stampinup.net. And you can watch my replays on YouTube. And my YouTube channel is my name with Stampin' Up after it. If you have any questions, need to talk to me about anything whatsoever, hi, Kathy. Just email me. That is where I will see it the fastest. If you Facebook message me or messenger me or anything else, I might not see it for a while. So that's the quickest way to get a hold of me. Okay. So I mentioned that this was an online exclusive. And you can, the other thing I want to mention is, oops, I almost dropped something, is that we're going to, Stampin' Up is starting bonus days. So when January 6th through February 2nd, spend $50 and earn a $5 coupon to spend between February 3rd and the 28th. And there's no limit to the amounts of coupons that you can earn. Now, these coupons are in addition to your rewards for placing an order. So it's a good time to stock up with, you know, the cardstocks you use the most, get some inks that you don't have yet, those types of things, your adhesives, whatever you need. Bonus days is a great time to stock up because you get extra rewards. Here's the stamp set. I'm going to lower Alexa a little bit. Alexa, lower your volume. Okay, there. Here is the stamp set. How do you guys like this new packaging? Have you got any stamp sets with the new packaging yet? I am putting both my stamp sets and my dies in one of the folders, so everything is together. That's how I'm doing it. But here is the images of the stamp set, and I especially love blessings and the church. But you can use it for Easter, baptisms, weddings, sympathies, just everyday blessings is why I got it. And then there's a tree and some bushes and some ground as well. And then here are the dies, and there's everything. It cuts out some clouds, some crosses, some bushes, the church, the door, just to make it more 3D. It's just adorable. I love it. So happy I got it. So I will be using this for the next few lives. Give you some ideas with that. And then I wanted to talk about putting that together with stamps that you might already have. This one's retired. It's called Courage and Faith. And I'm going to use this stamp with this card tonight. But if you have any stamps that are faith, geared towards faith, then you can combine those with this stamp set too. Here's another one that works, Charming Sentiments. That works well, also retired. So these two sets I have for $10 each if you want them. I do not ship though. Well, I do ship, but you would have to pay for shipping. But if you live close and you want either one of these stamp sets, just let me know and you can get them. All right, I'm going to use some beautiful embellishments, also an online exclusive item. They are called Druzzy Adhesive Backed Embellishments, and they come in a silver and like almost a rose gold, just beautiful. They almost look like diamonds. Okay, and then gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. This is on page 43 of the new mini catalog. It's Specialty Rick Rack in Old Olive. Okay, Viola, just come and get them. There you go. And there's the Rick Rack right There. Isn't it gorgeous? Okay. So let's get started. Let me show you the card. Blessings. Look at that. And look at the layering on this card. I love to do this. I love to use the Simply Score tool. You guys all know that. That's how I got the lines, the framing on this. And I love to double layer just to give the card. Oh, thank you so much for the hearts. I like to give this set some layering and the beauty of that ribbon and some twine. There's the little embellishment right there, but look how cute this church is. And then I thought, oh my goodness, you can stamp birthday, just the word birthday, and then blessings. All kinds of blessings you can send with this card. So many people are ill, so many people are having a hard time, and you just want to send them some blessings. Okay, so let's get started with this. You're going to need a white, from the card, if you copy my card exactly, you're going to need basic white cardstock and crumb cake cardstock. This first piece is a regular card size, and it is 8.5 by 5.5, just one piece of cardstock cut in half to make your regular, simple, basic card. Remember I said I was going to keep it simple. If anybody's new here, I'm just folding it in half and then using my bone folder to burnish. I always wing it back to get a nice seam right there. You know what? I think I need, there's a little bit more light. There we go. So you can see this seam better. All right, so there's our card base. Then I have two at 4 by 5 1/4. One's for the inside and one's for the outside. And then I have one piece at 3.5 by 4 3/4. That's to make the second layer on the front. And when you cut this piece here, you'll have a natural piece left that is 1 by 5.5. One was a little too thick for me, one in this direction, so I cut it down to 3/4. So you have one piece at 3/4 by 5.5. And then these are all just scraps to stamp on and use your die cutting, your dies. Okay, so the card is folded. Let me use my Simply Score tool and do the layering. Okay, so I'm just going to place one in at a time because they're two different sizes. First one is 4 by 5 1/4. And I'm just going to do a 1/4 inch in and score all the way around at a 1/4 inch. Very simple, but really, hi Lori, but really adds a lot. Hello, Lena. I love to frame my images. Always have. Okay, so then you turn it over and the opposite side has the framing. See that? This one, I think I can do that a little harder. Get it? Yes, that's better. Okay, so then we're going to do the same thing here. This one. Wait, I think this is a smaller one. No, good thing I checked. That's the smaller one. That one's the same size. So this one is the 3.5 by 4 3/4. But I'm still going to do the 1/4. And I'm going to do the same thing all the way around. Happy New Year, everyone, for sure. We watched the ball drop New York time, so it's 9 o'clock here. Then we went to bed. You know, the fireworks, usually in my area, their fireworks start at least a week early. And we hadn't noticed that there weren't any a week prior. So we were kind of grateful for that. And then there was very few that we could hear anyway on New Year's. At midnight, there was the most, but, you know, it was okay. Usually it's crazy and all the poor little animals get so scared. So there we go. There's the 2 layering pieces there. So I was grateful for that. All right. So now we're going to stamp the word blessings, and I'm going to use pecan pie. It looks really good, this color with crumb cake. So ink that up and use that. And I'm going to put it kind of high because I plan to put some trees on here. Blessings. I'm going to use that a lot. I know it, I know it, I know it. Okay, so now, let's leave this open and let's go to our crumb cake scrap and let's grab our church. Look at that. Ink that up in the same color. And stamp that down and get it ready to cut out. Yeah, I thought I missed a corner there. Let's try that again. I haven't been stamping a lot, ladies, because of my house. We've got so much going on, but I miss it, and when I came out and made this card, I had so much fun. So there we go. That's better. And then I need some scrap white. I only need to stamp 1 tree, although the card had 3 trees on it. I did 2 of them in advance, just to save you the time of watching me do the same thing 3 times. Make sure that fits and turn it that direction. This is Old Olive ink. There we go. Okay. So I think that's all the stamping I've got to do. I'm going to need this ink one more time, but I'm going to close it right now just so I don't stick my fingers in it. And then you do not have to do this at all, but I'm laying this white piece of cardstock onto a scrap piece of crumb cake. And, I don't need glue for it yet. And then I'm going to cut it out. I'm going to cut the tree out with 2 pieces of paper. I just like them thicker. I just do. So here's an example. Here's 2 trees. And see, I've got the crumb cake on the back, and they're way thicker. They're almost like cardboard. I like that. Okay. So that one's ready for my machine when I bring it over. But it's not glued together yet, and there's a reason for that. Okay, and then we're going to cut out the church, and then we're going to use the this scrap up here for the door, and the door has a little cross attached to it. They come out separate. I already did the door, but the cross gets cut out separately, and I'm not using that cross because it's a little bit too small for this card, but I am using this cross, which is a little thicker. And then the church itself. And where's my tape? Here it is. That's a new one. Let me get my open one. And let's tape these down just so I don't lose them. Go crooked. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same for the little, this can be anywhere. Tape that down, and then we have the little, I don't know what that's called right now. To add to the house. Okay, to the church. Okay, so these are all taped down. I'm seeing if I need anything else to cut out. I don't think so. So let me get my cut and emboss machine over here. I told Ken when I came out here, I said, wish me luck. Say break a leg or something, because I haven't been live with stamping for 3 weeks now, at least. Maybe, yeah, I think so. So I'm kind of rusty. All right, so here's the tree, and I want to make sure it's on some crumb cake. And then here's the church and all the other little pieces. Here's my second acrylic. Let's run that through. Now this card has no folders. I'm not using any folders on this card, which is not normally. I usually use folders. I just love texture. Okay, so let's take this tree out that I talked about. And the church. Hi, Marie. Hope you're feeling better. And here's the little cross. And I do mean small. See, there it is. Nope, that's the other one, I think. Yeah, that's the other one. Let's pop this one out. It's a little bit bigger. And then the A-frame. Okay. Now let's get the door that I did in advance, and we're going to put a dimensional behind it. And I used a regular size, but I like how it has like the wood grain look already. And we can just add that right to the little church. Had you guys noticed this set on online exclusives demonstrators? I just love it. And then I'm going to add, let's look at the church right now. Now we're going to add this little A-frame arch. And I'm just going to add a little bit of glue. And set that right there. And then we have the little cross. But it's crumb cake as well, so I don't think you're going to see it very well. So what I did is I saved my little dimensional backing. Little trick for you. Opened up my stamp pad, took the cross, and laid it on the stamp pad. Trying not to get my fingers all inky, so I just put that down over the top and pressed on there. If you don't have a darker color cardstock, you can just use your ink pad. And we've got a dark cross right there. Okay, so let me get this, throw it in the trash. There we go. And what do I do with my paper towels? I don't know. Okay. My room, like I said already, it's huge. I mean, it's storing my whole house right now. Okay, so now I'm going to take my glue again. And this time, I'm just going to put a little dot. I know the cross is going to go right above the door, right? So just a little dot right there. And then you take your pick tool again. Unless you want to get your fingers inky. And set that right over the glue. See how much it stands out more now that it's darker. I love it. And then if you wanted to, you could take your colored pencils and color the windows yellow so it looks like the lights are on. You can, do whatever you want for that. Then these three trees, they're outlined, and I didn't do the trunk brown or anything. Remember, we're concentrating on simple. But I went to my blender pens and grabbed one And I'm just going to pull the color from the ink. This is the one I just stamped. And then I'll do the same here. These I stamped the other day, so you can see that just because you stamped it a while back doesn't mean the blender pens will not still blend the ink. And I have 2 old olive ink pads, and I think this pad is newer than the other one. This was lighter. So that's how I'm just simple pulling the color in. Okay. You want to clean this off. Let's use this pad. Here's the measurements of all the sizes that I used today. Leave that there for a second. I'm going to clean off my blender pen before I put it away. Okay. Now, open house, I plan for February 5th. So if you are a regular, you don't need to do anything. Unless you can't come, then you need to let me know that you cannot be here. And if you are not a regular and you want to come, you just have to RSVP. Okay, so let's take, why did I do the crumb cake thing underneath the trees? Let's put a little bit of glue on them. Like I said, this is not necessary. This is just a Bev thing. But I take my trees and I offset them on that crumb cake just a hair for a shadow. And they're so much thicker. Do you see that little overlap of the crumb cake there? Okay, so let's do that again. You can set it down anywhere and then just move it around so you have a little bit showing, and you don't have to use crumb cake. You could use any color you want. I think it just adds when you look from the side, you know. Okay, so there's our pieces there. Now we had this long piece here that was left after cutting all the pieces of cardstock. And this is where this beautiful, beautiful ribbon comes in. Now, before we do that, let's take the card and let's layer this on, but not this one, right? Because the ribbon is going to go on this one. But let's layer this one on, and I want depth. So I'm going to take my dimensionals again. And if you see this card in person, you might think it's a little prettier than you're seeing on camera because of all the lift in the card itself and the framing. It's all white, so that makes it, you know, pretty. Always open up your card when you layer so you can get it straight. There you go. I already stamped the blessing, but I need to put the ribbon on. So I'm just going to grab this extra piece here, and I'm going to fold it over. And I'm only going to put dimensionals underneath these parts here so it can stay. I will put some more on the 4 corners so I can layer. Okay, so let's do these first. So I've got to see it's crooked, so I got to turn it over and make sure I've got it straight. Okay, and then take the backing off, set it down. Take the backing off, make sure it's straight, and flip it around. Okay, now I'm going to put the ribbon. I didn't want to put the ribbon across the whole piece because I don't need to go all the way to the end here. You're not going to see it anyway. But you do need mini glue dots. So let's get a mini glue dot. And we're going to press on the mini glue dot itself. Hi, Connie. And then peel it off. Grab our piece and just go to the end here like that. Pull around. Take your ribbon scissors. I like to cut it a scallop. Okay. And then take another mini glue dot. Press really, really pinch, pinch, pinch really hard. And then pull this straight and tuck it around. Isn't that ribbon adorable? Love it. Okay, so now we've got this. Now I'm going to hold up. Let me clean up my mess here. It gets me all... I don't like a mess when I'm stamping. I need my elbow room. Okay, so look how the framing just all matches up so pretty like that. See that? With the paper cut in those sizes. All right, so we've got dimensionals here that we need to pull the backing off. This card, seriously, would take you 10 or 15 minutes to make at the most. I'm taking longer because I'm explaining and teaching. There we go. Look at that. Now, this layout is great for any image whatsoever. All right, so now we've got our little church, and I'm going to put him, it's a him, right on the ribbon there. And I think I'm going to use glue. I don't remember. Yeah, I do remember. I used glue. So we're going to go across here. And this might take a little time to dry because you're going onto ribbon. So this set is not in the catalog. It's an online exclusive. But here is the bundle number. 167162, and it's $34. I think you're gonna love it. Oh, thank you, Connie. Thank you. Okay, there we go. So now this is loose because we only adhered the back, right? So let's start with our trees and see where we want them. I've noticed that most churches have, trees in and around. So pretty. Okay, let's get this one. I always like to place them when I don't have any glue or anything on them yet, just so I don't get everything all sticky. And I don't want to cover up that blessings. So that looks good to me. So and I have them at different levels. So you can place these, and remember there's bushes also. So you can put the bushes in and around the church. Okay, I like a little space right there. So the bushes could go in and around here if you wanted. Okay, next I'm going to do this one, and I'm going to be careful not to cover that B, but I want to go right up to it. Now, can you see the shadow of the crumb cake? I told you that's going to take a while to dry on the ribbon. And then this one's going to layer over and be a little shorter. Just make sure the trunk isn't hanging out under the ribbon. And it can be off this first layer onto the second layer. There we go. And I really, really like this, but I just wanted a little something extra. So let's do 13 inches of baker's twine or linen thread. They changed the names on me, and not recently, years ago, but I just stick with the old names. So I doubled it. And then I was going to tie a bow, but I need to slip it under the green first. Old Olive Rickrack. Oh, love, love, love rickrack. I love scallops. This is right up my alley. Tie a little bow. Then we're going to pull to make the little loops smaller, a little more dainty. Snip, snip, snip. There we go. And then I just, what do? I pounce on the little loops, make them separate so you can tell that they're doubled there. No use doubling them if you can't even see the double, right? And then you can take any one of these. They're all gorgeous. On the first, on my prototype, I used the rose gold is what I'm calling it. So on this one, I'll use the silver so you can see. Now there's like silver and then there's like, it looks a little whiter to me, but I'm using this size, so I'm going to grab these. They might be exactly the same, but to me, the little ones look a little whiter to me. Not whiter, like wide, white. I don't know. It might just be my eyes. Okay, so there's that. Right there for a little bit of glam. And then again, if somebody's new, little tip, when I get my gems, I cut them up the side and slip them back in like this instead of using the adhesive area, because sometimes the adhesive catches and I get frustrated with that. So I just cut up the side and then this is open for me. Okay, so now let's take the second piece here. We need to stamp something on the inside, anything that you'd like. I'm going to take the pecan pie and I'm going to borrow Viola's set. She purchased them just now. And this one says, "May the Lord bless you and keep you." I love that. And yes, I'm sad to let these go, but there are new faith stamps in the catalog as well. So if you just open up to where you go to order and you don't know what faith stamps they have, just type in the search part, blessings or courage. Oh, no, just type in faith. Just type in faith. And then all the stamps that are to do with faith will pop up. So you don't have to know their names. Okay. There we go. And then why don't we just use a tree? So many people need to know that you're thinking of them and that you're asking God to bless them. So these types of sets will be used a lot. Okay. So there's also these in this set if you have it, and you could use that on the inside too. I just use the trees because. So this is the one I was just working on. And I will save one of these cards. I'm going to send one out, but I will save one. So when you come to open house, if you want to see it, you can. Now I'm praying hard. Pray for me that my house is done in 3 weeks, like they say. So I can work like a little crazy person emptying out my stamp room so you guys can come, right? I'll let you know if I have to cancel, but the plan is to have it. So there you go. Do you like this set? Can you give me a thumbs up if you like the set? or a heart if you like this stamp set. It's called Blessed Beginnings Bundle. You can order it starting on the 6th. And that is the code. And remember, you're also going to get bonus coupon for every $50 you spend. Oh, good. I see some thumbs up. Yay. And you can make the church any color you want. It's very, very simple. You use a whole sheet of cardstock on it, even the scrap. The ribbon, do not forget about this ribbon. What is the code, Bev? 167006. Now, if you don't have a catalog and you live close to me, come get one. Just tell me you're coming. And if you're out of state, out of town, and you want a catalog, I will be sending my customers one. But if you're not my customer yet and you need one, let me know, please. All right. Good. I'm glad you love it. I do too. Have a nice evening and pray for me. All right. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.